Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, August 19. The Ministry of Education has instructed schools that they are to charge no more than $5,000 for new students' registration packages this academic year. The directive was reportedly issued in a bulletin disseminated to all schools by the Acting Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Winnie Berry. State Minister Orlando Terrelong says the bulletin was in keeping with the ministry's call for schools to ensure education remains accessible and affordable for all. In keeping with that position, Minister Terrelong says the Education Ministry has abolished the term auxiliary fees and replaced it with parent support contribution. Schools have been warned that parents must not be forced to pay this contribution, nor should their children be denied entry. According to a press release from the ministry, the contribution must not be a requirement for registration, school access or attendance, criteria for graduation, examination slips, or application to sixth form. In fact, administrators should discuss and get approval from their regional director for the categories that will fall on the school payment voucher. The ministry is, however, insisting that the cost of consumables should not be combined into packages that mandate payment for the full cost. For example, packages should not contain a charge for 5 school crests when the parent might not require or be able to afford 5 at once. The Education State Minister says schools that fall short of funds during the course of the year can write to the Permanent Secretary with supporting documentation to request consideration for additional support. In the meantime, Mr. Terrelong says changes are being made to the funding formula to increase financing for schools, while sixth form programs will be fully funded by the government, including exam fees and resource materials. Transport and Mining Minister Robert Montego says he will do whatever it takes to ensure that the country is protected amidst global concerns with respect to the price of bauxite and alumina on the international market. The assertion comes as the minister and his team continue to have dialogue with key players in the bauxite industry. A statement from the ministry says those discussions remain at a delicate stage. Last week, the minister and his team met with representatives of Gisco Alpart, Windalco, the Clarendon Alumina Company, and the Noranda Bauxite Company. Asserting that Jamaica's interest is his first priority, Minister Montego says government is monitoring the bauxite and mining industry in an effort to allay fears of any possible fallout and to provide support aimed at protecting the welfare of workers and the livelihood of communities who depend on the industry. The Bog Walk Health Center and Police Station are to be upgraded as part of an $88 million project funded by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JIS. The project also includes the rehabilitation of the Pineapple Lane Road in the community, and the work will be done over the next 6 months. This is being done under JIS's Poverty Reduction Program, which is funded by the European Union. At the recent signing ceremony, JIS's Managing Director Omar Sweeney said the support was geared at improving community infrastructure and ensuring the protection of human rights.
And so, whether a person has an infraction with the law or not, they have a human right to be housed in a proper facility. They have a human right as a citizen when you enter a police station to feel as if you're not entering an armory or a guard room or something like that. You should go into a police station and feel that you can have a confidential discussion. You should have trust. And these are basic human rights that all citizens need. And so we are in partnership on this program to ensure that your human rights are protected in every single way.
Assistant Commissioner of Police Warren Clark implored residents to see the investment as their own, as the upgraded station would enhance security. Preliminary discussions by government to extend Jamaica's largest bilateral sports cooperation agreement with China has been favorable. The 3-year initiative called the Jamaica-China Technical Cooperation Program is in its 2nd year of operation. Under the program, 138 Jamaican athletes, managers, and coaches in 7 sporting disciplines traveled to China for specialized training during summer.
The ministers already had some preliminary discussion. The preliminary discussions have been favorable in the fact that both China and Jamaica have expressed an interest, but there's a process that has to be followed before we can determine whether or not there's an extension and what would be involved in that extension.
The ministry's permanent secretary was speaking with JIS News following a meeting to discuss the progress of the program held last Friday at China Sports International Corporation in Beijing. In addition to extending its length, Mr. Thorpe says proposals have also been made to expand the program to include other sporting disciplines.
Other sporting bodies in Jamaica have expressed an interest in being a part of a new program or an extension of the program if that does happen. So there have been about 5 or so federations, associations that have expressed an interest in the program, having seen the benefits of the program for the 7 disciplines that are currently involved.
Under the Technical Cooperation Program, more than 400 Jamaican athletes will travel to China for training over the next 3 years. And finally, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, Olivia Grange, has expanded the membership on the National Council on Reparations and appointed a new team for the next 3 years. The 20-member council will serve from July 29, 2019 to July 28, 2022. The newly appointed council includes members from the legal fraternity, academia, the Rastafari community, civil society, the church and public sector. It is chaired by Mrs. Lalita Davis-Mattis, with Bert Samuels serving as deputy chairman. Other members are Professor Vereen Shepherd, Frank Phipps, Lord Anthony Gifford, Dr. Jalani Naya, Professor Rupert Lewis, and Stephen Golding. They're joined by Dr. Michael Barnett, Professor Clinton Hutton, Donald Roberts, Michael Holgate, Ras Lancroy Ho-Shing, Vivian Crawford, and Joanne Archibald. The 5 remaining members are Pastor Bruce A. Fletcher, Reverend Stephen Jennings, Dr. Winsome Gordon, Lorraine Williams Tafari, and Tamika Peart. Minister Grange says the council is to create strategies to secure and disburse reparations due to Jamaicans for the transatlantic slave trade. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.